Yo, D-Lo 404 here. Want to say welcome back to the channel, to my subscribers, my repeat viewers. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, I ask that you please do so. If you're feeling my videos, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to get into this Triple G Canelo back and forth, build up to their fight. This is my thoughts on that. You know, every day you see headlines, you see videos, you see articles on different boxing websites about all this bad blood between Triple G and Canelo, all this back and forth. You know, Canelo talking down on Triple G. He's really offended because Triple G was riding him so hard and really, excuse me, I almost dropped my phone there. But riding him so hard about the clenbuterol being in the system, about the fight being canceled in June, I think it was in May, and you know, just really really just overall displeased with Triple G as a man, and really having all this venom and, you know, animosity toward Triple G. Triple G, on the other hand, same thing, talking. He's so upset that Canelo tried to cheat, got caught, felt like Canelo cheated in the first fight, questions Canelo's integrity as not only a fighter but as a man. No respect for Canelo. Really want to knock him out. In fact, both guys, they really talking about they're going for the knockout, so forth and so on. You know, just a lot of bad blood, and, you know, Abel Sanchez chiming in with his 2 cents. So, you know, just a lot of big build up. And I'm sorry about the background noise. I'm driving, so I'm hitting some bumps here and there. But anyway, you know, just a lot of build up to try to get us salivating about this fight and get us excited. Because, I mean, honestly, the fight's taking a back seat to a lot of potential fights, as well as the fight that's on the horizon with Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. But even with the Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia fight being talked about, that fight seems to have more appeal, more interest than Canelo Triple G 2. Same thing with the potential fight between AJ and Wilder. That's the biggest fight that can be made in boxing right now. So, of course, Canelo Triple G 2, once again, you know, taking a back seat. So of course they want us clamoring about this fight. Of course they want us talking about the bad blood they have between one another. I mean, honestly, maybe they do feel some type of way about each other, and maybe they really, you know, are going to try to knock one another out this go around. But honestly, if you guys think back to the first fight, there was a lot of negative talk about, you know, one another coming up to that. You know, Canelo, you know, basically was being accused of, you know, by Triple G and his team of not really wanting to fight. You know, he put it off, kept, you know, saying this, that, and the other. Remember, he said, you know, after he beat somebody, I can't remember who it was, and it was, you know, Mexicans don't fuck around, etc., etc. You know, just a lot of build up, a lot of talk, like these guys were gonna try to take each other's head off. And, you know what I'm saying, when they got in the ring, they both seemed a little hesitant to engage, to really just go for broke. You know, both guys seem to have a lot more respect for one another than what they would lead you to believe as far as what they can do in the ring. You know, even now, I read where Triple G said that you know, Canelo didn't have a lot of power. You know, but and you know, honestly, I'm not the biggest Canelo fan. I'll confess that. I think Canelo had a lot of gift decisions, and I think he strategically avoided certain fighters at 154, and certainly, you know, went about it, you know, all wrong about how he went to 160. You know, he fought at his own weight for quite a while, even when he beat Cotto. You know, and I felt like if you're gonna challenge for the crown, you need to go ahead and go on up to the weight. You know, and Canelo was recognized as a lineal champ, having beat Sergio Martinez. But, you know, that's neither here nor there, whatever. You know, so about all of that, with the bad blood and the so-called build-up, I just feel like these guys are kind of taking us for a ride. I can see this fight not living up to the expectations just like the first fight. I hope we're wrong. I hope I'm wrong on that. I hope that these guys really and truly go out there and give it their all. And I mean, that don't mean that someone's guaranteed to get knocked out, but I want to see some serious effort, at these guys to really inflict some hurt on one another. I mean, part of the reason that fight was a draw is because neither guy separated himself from the other guy almost in any rounds. There were some rounds here and there that you might say, well, Canelo clearly won or Triple G clearly won. But, the guys just really, failed to separate themselves from one another to say that I was clearly the better boxer in that round. That didn't happen. So, of course, naturally, once the fight was concluded, you end up with what you end up with. Because, what I'm saying, neither guy ever really separated himself as being the better fighter of the two. So now they're selling us this, we're going for broke. Both guys screaming they're going for a knockout, this, that, and the other. And you'll have these, you have the expectation that, hey, this fight will not go the distance. But I can tell you, I remember videos saying that the first time, guys saying, hey, man, this fight, somebody's getting knocked out in this fight. Well, nobody got knocked out. And I'm not saying it can't be a good fight because no one got knocked out. What I'm saying is, don't sit here and sell us this we're going for broke and then get in there and get tentative and be way too respectful of the other guy like the first fight. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna tell anybody what they should do, but me personally, I'm not believing the hype. And furthermore, aside from that, it's hard for me to really get behind these two guys because I just don't think the winner of the fight or the loser is going to fight any other top middleweight. Any other top ranked guys and I don't mean top rank as in the stable top rank. I mean the upper tier guys in the division. The Jamal Charlo. Even the Billy Joe Saunders and Demetrius Andrade. Even Danny Jacobs. I don't know that he can get a rematch with Triple G or get a fight with Canelo. Devin Vinchenko, if he beats Danny Jacobs, does he get a fight with one of those two guys? I mean, and that's kind of, the way I see it unfolding. I've said this before in other videos. I mean, and it's just my theory, but I just feel like these guys have a plan. I always say 4-fight plan, but at least they have a plan to have another match should this fight do great numbers. Now, if the fight doesn't do the kind of numbers that they want it to do, and it doesn't live up to the expectations, I'm not talking about performance-wise in ring, I mean performance-wise on a financial level, I don't think they'll revisit it for a third fight, at least not right away. But I can tell you from my vantage point, these two guys' reluctance to fight the other top guys in the division, I mean, everybody makes videos and they're saying, well, where do they go from there? Where will the winner go? It's like, man, I mean, I think the winner goes right back to a fight with the loser. I think if one of them gets knocked out, or even if he loses a decision, he'll say, hey, well, you won the decision. We had a draw the first time. Hey, let's run it back. And I think the fans, if the fight was exciting enough, could get into it. If one guy just completely gets dominated, then I don't know that there's a clamor for a rematch. And it may not even matter what the clamor is. I think they'll try to make it and try to see if they can build a fight up. But I mean, who knows? I just want to see. This is what I want. It's my wish list for these two guys. I want to see the winner move on to fight. And I guess the natural thing would be to, what makes the most sense, because he's been waiting for a while, is to fight the WBC mandatory Jamal Charlo. That's what I want to see for the winner. Now, as for the loser, there are a lot of top guys out there. If he doesn't get... Now, yeah, if the guy gets just knocked out and just get dominated, I don't expect him to go from that to Danny Jacobs, or from that to Andrade, or from that to Billy Joe Saunders, or, Devin Vinchenko, or whoever. I do expect them to try to build themselves back up by some, medium level, guy, maybe some guy that's still in the top 10, but not the upper tier top 10. But what I don't want to see is the loser going to a fight like what Triple G just had with Vanes Martirosyan. Fighting some guy that's a middle of the road junior middleweight fighter who hasn't fought in extended period of time, and calling them up to middleweight to get a fight so that they can look good and be back into contention is saying that, that was just a blip on the radar. I had a little setback, but now I'm back. Because honestly, fights like that don't really tell you anything about where a guy is when he's coming off a loss. I mean that you have to still challenge yourself. You have to still dare to go out there and prove that you're still the level of fighter that you already were. And that's all I want to see. I just want to see these guys in good fights with other people once they're done fighting each other. I mean, I honestly hope that this fight is the last fight. I hope there's a clear, concise winner, and I hope that we're done with this Triple G Canelo nonsense. You know what I mean by nonsense? I don't mean the two fight each other. I mean all this back and forth. I mean the guys are acting like two bitter ex-girlfriends or something. So that's where I want to see. I just want to see them move on from that. Now I'm not saying if the fight does well that they shouldn't revisit the fight down the line. I mean, maybe have a couple other fights against top guys, and if y'all two still are right there, then yeah, have another fight. But I don't want to see these guys engaged in a trilogy, and the fights aren't deserving of a trilogy. Not with the way the first one went. I mean, I think with the way the first one went, whoever wins this one is just a better fighter, and let's just move on from it. And like I said, this is just my theory that they would try to do that. I mean, they may not have any interest in fighting each other again, but I know that they want the big payday, and I know that the first fight they both got paid pretty good, so thus they went to a second fight. And I sometimes I could be a bit of a conspiracy theorist, but I kind of felt like that was the reason we got a draw, so that there was guaranteed to be a second fight. But that said, I just want to see, like anybody else, I want to see the best guys in these divisions fighting the other best guys in the division. So I'm not mad at them fighting right now. I just want to see what's next for them. So, but again, miss me with all of this bad blood and animosity and all this. I think you guys are just trying to build a fight. I think they're just trying to build a fight. I mean, they should be, but it's like, come on. I mean, they're going overboard with it. But it's like they just absolutely hate each other. Like one of them might have ran over the other one's dog last week and didn't stop or something. I don't know. It's just, a little bit too much for me. I mean, what I'm saying? When I'm considering the two people, it's a little too much. With that said, I'm fixing to get on off of here. I want to say shout out to the LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Big things on the horizon. All I see is a whole bunch of activity. These guys out here putting out some work. I mean, man, I get so much enjoyment just scrolling down my YouTube, just looking at all the videos that you guys are cranking out. And I'll continue to support, the guys that are out there putting out content. And I ask you guys to support me as well. And on that note, I'm out of here. Peace.